Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Pass the Microphone webinar series presented to you by the World Refining Association. Today we have the esteemed pleasure of having Mr. Ian Kennedy from EC Harris to be part of the webinar. Good day, Ian. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good as well. Thank you very much. Excellent to hear. EC Harris, just to give a brief introduction, is an international built asset consultancy which has helped companies from the oil, gas, chemical, and other asset-intensive industry around the world make the most from their investments and expenditure in built assets. Ian is an internationally recognized authority on the maintenance, asset management, and he has worked across all industry sectors, including oil and gas, chemicals, manufacturing, defense, shipping, nuclear, and corporate real estate. So Ian, could you just tell us more about your current role in EC Harris here in Asia?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my role for EC Harris in Asia is to lead the oil and gas sector for the Asia Pacific region. So I'm working with our clients and with our team here in Asia to develop, obviously, the business that we're doing within this market. And really, it's about understanding what drives our clients, what our clients' challenges are, and then ensuring that we're providing the solutions to be able to make our clients successful.
Yeah, and everybody's saying that Asia is a current growth region now. From your point of view, what are the current trends and business opportunities you're seeing now here in Asia?
Well, I'd certainly agree with that. I think Asia is a huge growth opportunity, particularly in the oil and gas sector. And we're seeing huge investments both upstream and obviously downstream in new facilities, existing projects ongoing, and obviously major new projects like the Petronas Rapid project that's been announced, the integrated facility in southern Malaysia. So huge investment going on in new facilities. But I think we find that, I guess one of the key challenges there is that it's a very dynamic market. The world's continually changing. Day by day we seem to see huge swings in market and the whole business environment. I think what clients are looking for is trying to ensure cost and time certainty on the projects that they have ongoing, so that at least they can be sure that the projects that they're executing, that they can bring those in to the target cost and bring them in on time, on schedule. So so they're looking for that increased confidence and certainty on the total installed cost on these projects, and being able to guarantee that schedule in an unpredictable market. And I think when you look at operational facilities, then as ever there's a challenge on increasing margins with the price of oil going up and down. We see the margins changing, but of course in the refining industry those margins continue to be very, very tight within that particular sector. So continual challenge to increase those margins, and to do that it's really about sustaining and increasing the productivity of these assets. So I think in terms of the key challenges there, the key trends and business opportunities, it's really around meeting those kind of needs for clients and helping them solve those problems.
Right. I mean, definitely Asia is a dynamic market, and a lot of investments are being pumped in currently. I mean, recently there's the Fukushima incident and the BP Macondo incident as well, which really caused a ripple effect across the world. I mean, with your past and current expertise in the nuclear and oil and gas sectors, how can the refineries learn from this incident and also improve their processes and disaster management strategies?
Yeah, sure. With these kind of incidents, it's easy to think of them as natural disasters and something that's been, I suppose, thrown upon us from the external environment. But really, the consequences of those events is all about the way that those assets are managed and operated. And I think one of my experiences and what we tend to find with a lot of organizations in terms of managing the safety and integrity of these assets is that it's about effective management of maintenance, and it's about effective asset integrity. And within that, it's all about establishing the clear handshakes between all of the parties. So we often find that there's a complex arrangement here between owners, operators, contractors, buyers, etc. And what we need to ensure is that it's absolutely clear who has what responsibilities, where the handover of those responsibilities are, and then ensure that those responsibilities are executed and people adhere to those responsibilities. And we work with a lot of oil companies to establish and implement corporate frameworks for asset integrity management, establishing KPIs and processes, and clearly identifying those responsibilities. And as I said, my experience is that in a lot of situations, those responsibilities are not clearly defined, and obviously that leads to confusion, it leads to omissions, and ultimately that can lead to severe problems. And obviously, it's one thing to put the framework in place, the other is actually to get that executed, and it's all about the implementation by those people at the sharp end. So the people aspects are very important to ensure we get everybody in the organisation bought into that, and we establish the right culture. So I suppose really it's about everything from the high level, it's the vision and frameworks that are established at the corporate management level, but it's right down to the detailed level of implementation, and we need to be rigorous at all levels.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in terms of the entire supply chain, operational excellence and asset optimization has always been a topic close to the hearts of Asian refiners. What are some of the proven methods to achieve operational excellence, you think?
Yeah, well, I think in the area that we've focused on heavily has been clearly on the margin improvement. So, margin improvement is all about really focusing on the costs of production. And I'd like to just bring it down to a simple approach, which is to say, really, the cost of operating facilities is made up of three things. And, for example, you could take maintenance costs. And maintenance costs are effectively determined by three factors: the quantum of work, the efficiency of delivery of that work, and then the commercial rate at which you procure those services to execute the work. So if you look at those, the quantum is determined by your strategy. So as you determine the strategy for your equipment through your maintenance strategy, looking at criticality of assets, looking at your sparing strategy, etc., that ultimately determines the amount of work that you're going to need to do to maintain the facility. Including we bring in a team to do that in-house and through contractors, and then it's about how efficient and productive are those teams. So that comes down to time on tools measurement and productivity enhancement, work planning and control, etc., to drive up the productivity of those teams. And then finally, the commercial rate, which is then typically about commercial arrangements and how we actually contract with the supply chain to drive the maximum cost effectiveness out of that supply chain without compromising quality and obviously without impacting then on efficiency and on the other factors. So the approach we tend to take is to look across all of those factors and identify really where are the key issues, but to deal with it in a holistic way, so we're not just singling out one aspect of, for example, driving through really low commercial rates, but as a result impacting on productivity or impacting on strategy and quantum, etc. So take an integrated approach on that. And actually, that's really the major area at the conference. That's I'm presenting a paper very much about improving operational experience and talking about some of the particular case studies and organisations we've worked with and what we've learned from those experiences.
Great, great. I mean, we're seeing refining margins picking up as well, recovering in Asia. It was a huge topic last year in Downstream Asia 2010. But this year, refining margin seems to be improving. How is EC Harris strategically placed to take advantage of this then?
Well, margins are improving. Whether it's going to be sustained or not, I guess the question obviously would all answer, and it would all be rich. Yeah. But I think as part of that, we are seeing increased investment. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of new investment going in projects to enhance existing facilities and enhance production capability. And then the challenge is, with all of these projects going on, I think a lot of our clients are facing challenges in finding the right resources to execute those projects. And we see that right throughout the region and really throughout the oil and gas sector, that the availability of the experienced people that are needed to really make sure these projects are successful is a real challenge. And in EC Harris, we're positioning ourselves really to be able to support organisations in that respect. We have over 3,000 people globally, and we work very much as a mobile and global organisation. So we have large numbers of very experienced professional people who can deploy to meet our clients' needs almost anywhere in the world. And so we're supporting, for example, global international oil companies, particularly here in Asia, by partnering with them to resource project teams. And through close partnering, ensuring that our teams and their teams work almost as one entity. And that gives real flexibility then for the client to assemble the teams they need, but with teams with common understanding and common approaches, so that we can actually hit the ground running and really be effective right from day one in those projects. And I think that's that's certainly one of the key areas that we see is a challenge, and that's where we think we're pretty strategically placed to take advantage of that.
Right. And how does EC Harris differentiate itself from others then, in light of what you just told us earlier?
Well, I think a unique feature of EC Harris is the way we operate as a built asset consultancy. Mm-hmm. And we're providing professional advice to clients to help them obtain maximum value from the money they invest in building, owning, and operating assets. And so what we do is we have a very wide range of professional services and skills that we can deliver as an organisation. So, for example, project management, commercial cost management, contract management, and performance improvement right across the project life cycle. So in the, for example, in the refining area, then we can support clients right through from the concept through the FEED and the EPC stages and into the operational and decommissioning phases. So it's really about taking an integrated approach to all of those services to be able to really assist the clients in meeting their goals. And I think perhaps one other characteristic is that we are genuinely ambitious for our clients. So we don't see ourselves as providing routine services to clients. It's about really partnering with the clients to help us mutually raise our expectations and visions of what we can achieve, and then work to achieve that. So it's all about trying to take all that experience and expertise as a built asset consultancy to help the clients to transform their performance.
Right, without a doubt. And can you tell the listeners a bit more about why you're personally looking forward to taking part in Downstream Asia this year?
Well, I think it's an excellent opportunity to meet up with fellow leaders in the oil and gas sector, particularly the downstream sector here in Asia, and particularly at a time when the market is changing, as ever, I guess, but the market is changing rapidly. So it's a good opportunity to really take stock of where the market is, how people are feeling, and really understand, I suppose, more deeply what our clients are really seeing as the challenges that they're facing, so to try and get a deeper understanding of that.
Great. All right. Thank you very much, Ian, for being part of the Pass the Microphone webinar series. It was really good to have you here with us. EC Harris is the silver sponsor for Downstream Asia 2011. Ian will be presenting a paper on driving efficiency from the operation phase of the oil and gas asset life cycle on the afternoon of 1st November. You can meet Ian and his team from EC Harris at booth 12 at the Downstream Asia exhibition on 1st and 2nd of November at Suntec City Convention Center, Singapore. Thank you very much again, Ian, and thank you everybody for listening in to the webinar proudly brought to you by the World Refining Association and EC Harris.